Hey team, Max and Carl here from the Performance Hub, taking you through day one of our hip series. So we'll be focusing on, in this video, it's going to be an all fours hip mobility, stability, activation, kind of all in one series of drills. So the first thing that we are going to go through is going to be what we call the cat camel drill. So what we've got here is Carl's on all fours, got his knees underneath the hips, got wrists underneath the shoulders. And really what we're thinking about doing is keeping those arms nice and long. And as Carl comes down, we're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together. And as he works up, we're thinking about pushing those shoulder blades away, okay? So you'll see there, we're getting that arch position like a cat, and then we get in that hump position like the camel. Take your time with this, really trying to get as much movement through that area as we can. So we'll go through 10 reps of this. For the next drill in our series, we want to find a neutral position. Okay, so to us, neutral is going to be somewhere in between our cat and our camel. Okay, we want to think about avoiding an excessive arch, so we want to avoid that cat position as much as possible. So from here, team, we're going to work into a rock back. So we're going to go a little bit wider with our knees, and from here, all Carl's going to focus on doing is taking his backside to the heels. Okay, so rocking back and driving back through. What we want to work through here is your range of motion, okay? So if it's feeling a little bit tight, that's fine, but if you start to get pinching pain, that's probably an indication that we're going a little bit too far. And of course, we want to maintain that neutral position, so if we start to round too much, okay, then that's probably an indication that we've gone too far as well. And once again, we're going to go through 10 reps here. From there, we're going to make our way back to our starting position, which is all fours, knees under hips, and we're going to work into a bird dog. So with a bird dog, okay, interesting name I know, but we're going to take our opposite arm and leg out as far as we can, and we're looking to maintain this neutral position as we do so. So nice and controlled, just like so. Key thing here is Carl's pushing that back foot backwards, he's not lifting the leg up. If we lift that leg up, you'll see that extension, that cat position start to happen through the low back. So what we work through here is 10 on one side, and then we switch it over, 10 on the other side, okay? Nice and controlled, taking your time with this. Very good. From there, team, we'll maintain that same starting position, and we're going to work into a fire hydrant drill. So called a fire hydrant because this is what your dog's going to do when it approaches a fire hydrant. So we're maintaining that neutral position, and what Carl's going to do now is keep his knee bent, and we're lifting out to the side. Okay, just that motion there. You'll see here that it's not a huge motion. If Carl tries to lift too high, what we'll see is he's just twisting through the low back, the hip and the shoulder, which is defeating the purpose of this drill. So the whole time, belly button points down, and we're just going up as high as we can while maintaining that neutral position. So we work through 10 on the one side, and then we switch it over, 10 on the other side. Our last drill that we're going to work through, same starting position, very similar to the fire hydrant, but we're going to work into a kickback. Number one thing with our kickback is we're looking to maintain that neutral position again. So if Carl does a bad one to start, this is really common, we'll see that big arching motion, okay? So what we're seeing there is a lot of lumbar or low back extension, not a lot of hip extension. So what we want is that neutral position, keep that knee bent, so we're taking that hamstring out, and we're just focusing on that small motion there, so it's really our hip doing all the work, not our low back. So we're going to work through 10 on one side, and then 10 on the other side. Very good. So all of these drills, team, are really low load, okay? So they're not going to fatigue you too much, just a bit of movement to get through that entire lower body. So we've integrated a little bit of core work, a little bit of hip mobility, a little bit of muscle activation as well. So you can do this throughout the day, especially if you're going to be working from home, quite sedentary. Take your time, a couple of times a day, morning and evening, just to go through this series, and your hips will thank you for it.